All right. All right. Spurs fam, it is later than usual for the recap. Just had some prior lunch arrangements, engagements after the game, um, which was a tale of two halves. Um, huh, where do I begin? But we're gonna have a couple of guys coming on in, Colin and Bob, to also bring in their opinions. Uh, so weird because I usually have to recap as soon after the show, but after a couple of hours, um, found nice in regards to uh, the game. Um, really, the second half, but yeah, we got 3 points. Um, it's a stretch of games where if we have any chance of wanting to fight for top four, we gotta get these 3 points. These next stretch of games, we got Burnley and we have Brighton in there, and so off to a good start getting the 3 points. But um, not pretty, not pretty at all. Oh, big up Jody. Caught a bit of Judge Jody and her and Cody. Check it out, guys. When you get the chance, it great show. I prepared on it. And Jody will one day be on the Love Lounge, possibly this week. I'll announce later on. That we have a special show earlier. Hopefully, her and a couple other people, especially on the UK side, since it's earlier, will jump on. But big up to you, Jody, and a great show tonight with you and Cody. Uh, Jimmy is in the house. Hey, Mari, stop and say, watch ya. Can't linger longer in and out with your chores. Definitely, Jimmy. Thank you for the support, brother. And yeah, um, it was a tale of two halves. The first half, what can I say? Watching paint dry is more entertaining, but we got to live with it. We are, definitely lacking for creativity, especially in the midfield. Um, it's tough because, you know, um, I love Hoiberg. Of course, he scored a goal, but first half, between him and Winks and just the team is just when it comes to creativity, we are sorely sort of lacking. And I know people were probably upset that Winks started. I actually wasn't too upset that Winks started. I think this is with all the players on the team. This is the time to just prove it to Conte. Conte needs to, despite we know about the abilities of our players, Conte has the full right to check out these players to see what you know, see what product that they are, and this was a time for Winks to prove it. And as usual, Winks failed to show, and I think this is a good thing. And there's gonna be some other players that I want Conte to start so he could get the final nail on the coffin, or put with some of these players that we feel are deadwood remaining that still needs to go. So Wink's starting, and it was a good thing. It was a good thing. I posted on Twitter. It would have been. I felt a strange feeling that he was going to score, or that was my upset stomach. Well, I guess that was my upset stomach because um, Winston, of course, he didn't score. But the first 15 minutes, I kind of knew that wow, Leeds, it, it, they they got the momentum. They're setting the tempo of the game. Um, and for them, they're gonna eventually score. And James was just all over in the first half. I mean, my goodness, you almost thought about why United let him go. Being the former United player that he is, and they had 65% possession, and I mean, tough, painful. But as some of the memes on Twitter, the one where the coach is slapping the players during the halftime, um, tale of a different half. The first 30 seconds, Harry Kane almost scores, hits the post, and was really unlucky. And I have to say this: Harry Kane showed a lot of effort today, fought for positioning. He fought today. I know people have been questioning if he's running down tooling, or he's not. He's half hearting. He's half stepping things. But today, you cannot question that he was up for it. He was up for it, and so now that talk of him down tooling, maybe it's gone. He has a coach in Conte, and he has hope. He sees the ambition, and so I I think today he was just unlucky, just really unlucky, um, in not being able to score. Hit the post. You know, and I was like, okay, some life. You know, a shot on goal. This is this is good. Of course, forgot to mention Leeds scored, so they were up 1-0, and think the halftime team talk. Maybe Conte said, "Guys, relax. Come on, don't have that pressure. Just relax." And um, so we eventually equalize. Um, I don't want to get backed up with the comments, but we eventually equalized with Hoiberg scoring a goal. And like I said, the first half, it was kind of like I was kind of sour on him and Winks and a couple other players. But whenever you score a goal, you kind of redeem yourself. And it was a beautiful pass by. Well, there was a chance. Um, it was a beautiful ball into Davies, who I was just surprised that he almost scored, and um, and then eventually I'm trying to remember who made that wonderful pass back out to Hoiberg to be able to equalize to make it 1-1, um, and then eventually Reguilon scored. But we have Colin, who's in the house.
What is up, man? How are you doing?
Good, good. It's smiling. It's a victory. It's 3 points. It wasn't
Yeah,
pretty, first half, but second, you know, Conte went in. He, he grabbed the players by the reins and said, "Hey guys, let's go. Come on now."
yeah.
And
No, the
so
the turn the turnaround for the second half. I mean, was super encouraging to see. Um, I don't think we would have done that under Nuno. You know.
yeah,
Um,
no, yeah, because I mean Nuno, he's I talk about watching paint dry on the wall. Nuno's just
yeah, definitely, man. And you saw
that
Conte
helps to
today.
motivate the players. So it's just, um, yeah. And Jody says big team talk by Conte at halftime. Definitely,
Oh,
100%.
absolutely. Yep.
And Jody says hello. Eugene says hi everyone, big up. Hello Eugene. He's in the house. Um, and so of course Colin's in the house. And then eventually, um, off the gosh, my memory is just killing me today. Um, um, not Hoiberg. Hoiberg scores the equalizer. Reguilon, off a rebound, scores the game-winning goal, and you're so happy for Reguilon. He's had some other close chances, and finally he gets his first goal. And and I'm so happy for him. You see all the players run up to him. You see Conte go like, even with the equalizer, you love the passion, and that's what we have lost. We have lost the passion, and now we have gotten it back with Conte, and so it's Conte slap work sideways. Um, yeah, we got the passion, and then what I loved before I go to you, Colin, that Conte had the fans. He was urging the fans to get pumped, to sing, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. He was like, come on, give the power to." Even then, Sonny's doing it. Kane's doing it. Tell the fans, and so I love Conte, and Jody says it's our best. Conte is the goat. He is the goat. You know, and we um, fully embrace him. You know, and I know people talk about Poch and United whatsoever. That's over. That's like an ex girlfriend or ex wife. It's
You
done. Like we need to stop going back to it. Have something for the love lounge uh, later on this week on that point. But it's just gotta move on now, and it's the Conte era is here. It's going to be a rough beginning, as you can see in the first half, but I have full 100% confidence that this will be a great era in Spurs history. And people can call me, I'm a dreamer. I'm a hope. I'm telling you now, he signed here with full assurances, and he mentioned on Friday. I just feel we're going to win a Premier League with this guy. We are going to win the Premier League, and I'm going to cry in tears of joy. And I just love it. You know, but you know, um, there's some things that are work in progress, and that is creativity in our midfield. That first half was just, yee. It was,
know,
it was,
not pretty at
you
all.
know,
We could hardly get the ball in,
yeah,
into their half, man. It was,
and it's tough too because when I'm watching the games, I do not like to look at my phone or whatsoever. But it was just kind of like not gonna really do anything, and I'm looking at my phone, and so it's just. And Jody says it right here. Never go back to an ex. I'll give you a little preview. We're gonna be talking about the Love Lounge on Wednesday. Never go back to an ex. There's a reason why. Only rarely that it works out, but we need to forget that the Conte era is here. The passion of Conte is here, and I freaking love it. Oh, it's past 10 minutes. I fucking love it. It just my blood was just and like I was saying, Bob, when he was getting the fans urging, and then got the players even doing the same thing. I'm like,
Mm.
yes, this is what we've been missing. We've
yeah,
been missing this
it sure
for
as hell beats,
yeah. And so,
on
you
the
know,
sidelines, posted up.
yeah. Eugene says Davies is at fault for the first goal. Yeah, I had thought the same too, because I was looking for Dyer. Was him? It was definitely Davies' fault for that first goal. But it was a great run by James too. Um, if the board backs Conte, we can go far. Yeah, and I love it. Um, s- Jody says, "Big up Bobby." Like I said, her and
Oh yeah.
Cody. Cody says first half was, yeah, it was just horrible.
Your
Check out
beard was abhorrent. That's what you said, though.
please check out Jody's stream,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Cody and
Paxton Road TV. Her and Cody had a
yeah.
great, once as usual. Judge Jody, please check it out. Please check it out. And like I said, one of these days she will be on the Love Lounge. It could be soon. Oh yeah. Um,
Oh yeah.
but I'll tell you guys later about the special Love Lounge. It's gonna be pretty earlier than
All love
expected.
lounges are special, brother. All love lounges are
Oh
special.
yeah. Um, Martin's in the house. He says, thanks to Cody's halftime team talk, we won. Yep. Cody had a lot to do with that. Scott M says, win the league. That is a very hopeful outlook. Uh, Scott, you know what I mean. Like,
Scott.
I'm just saying, if all the pieces fall into place, and that doesn't mean this season, but I'm just saying, you know, um, I'm the optimist, and like I said, I love Conte. You say you don't fall in love quickly, and it takes people time, but I love the guy. Good to see the other players are providing goals now. Yeah, if
That was
out actually the front three can actually score, the goal differential will start to get out the negative numbers. Exactly.
that
Um,
was my favorite thing from today was that even though it didn't look like Kane was being frustrated a lot. He was they did a pretty good job in stifling him, but we finally had some other people help to pick up the slack. It wasn't just Kane and Son scoring goals, and I think that if we're gonna like progress and we're gonna go anywhere under Conte, we're gonna need goals to kind of be more spread out amongst the team. I think all good teams kind of have that, and for a long time we have it, and we've also lost a couple players in like Bale and Vinicius that we got goals from last season, and those are going to need to be replaced. So we'll anywhere we can get them is good.
Adam D is in the house. He says next season the title belongs to Spurs if Conte stays put.
What's up, Adam D?
Yes, yes, exactly. Scott, I love it. I'm not surprised by your optimism in any way. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Um, thank you for thank you guys for the support yesterday. I have to say this before we go on. Um, literally, I was actually with my mom,
Oh, wicked.
driving her home, and so I was just watching the show, just trying to catch up. And she's like, "Oh, what's this?" And my mom's like, "Wow," because moms are like
Yeah.
screaming, like they don't get it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a family," and she's like, "Oh, okay," but my mom is like old fashioned, like it's weird. Streaming is still a new thing to her,
Yeah, yeah.
and but she also says thanks. She's like, "Wow, these guys are awesome!" Like,
I
and
felt, because last or 2 weeks ago we did the stream and we started it off and you told us why you were wearing the yellow t-shirt and I did
yeah,
say to you at the end of the show we will do a minute's applause. And man, I watched it later on and I totally forgot that stream. It was a bit,
yeah,
we,
and
we did get a
I
bit
was
carried
cool
away
about it.
and I totally forgot and it's been bugging me ever since. I know Cole was on that stream as well and none of us remembered and it's been bugging me and I made a mental note. I thought, I was hoping you turned up. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to
Yeah,
embarrass you. But I thought even if Mari doesn't turn up, I'm sure the guys, whoever the guests are, they won't shy away from
yeah.
joining in. And
And man, I would have
as I
loved to
said,
show up. It was a good topic too, man. I was just like, oh man, but
yeah,
it worked out well. And like I said, when we saw that tribute, because I had my phone on the dash on the thingy, and I'm driving. And I'm just like, hey, I'm like, and so it's just a thank you to my
no
brothers and my
man, no,
sisters.
No problem at all, man.
Much
all good.
much love, and thank you, Scott M. And Jody with the comments today, and Curse and Shan, Rez and Iggy, just everybody. This is it's a family. Like I said, we may not always disagree, we may disagree or whatsoever, but what I love about our family, we are a family. It is, it's great. Sometimes it's dysfunctional. Uh, Levy sometimes makes it that way, but we love each other, and I just say just kudos and thank you guys. Um, and yeah. Um, so what was I
All good,
going
man,
with
all
there?
good.
Sky said big up to Mama Mari.
Yes,
Yes,
Mama Murray. Yes, yes.
yes, no, definitely, definitely. And Jody said that was so amazing. Exactly agree. And
Kind words and big and how do I say? But big up to Jay as well for sharing her
her
story
dad,
as
of
well
her
and
dad.
of her dad. So big up to you as well, Jay. And
Yes, Jody.
I'm sure all the fathers and my mother passed away in Feb, so I'm sure everyone's looking down at the moment and everyone's done something proud in their life. So
Yeah,
I'm sure they're looking down in pride. So yeah, big up to everyone who's lost a loved one, man, because it's been a hard couple of years. You know what I mean? It's not been the norm,
yeah,
and we're still fighting through. Being a Spurs fan doesn't help. But I'll tell you what, you're lucky when you got uh, friends who you haven't met in person, but you
yeah,
still feel so close to. The
yeah,
fact we can sit here, share our losses, share our happiness, take the piss out of each other, and
yeah,
still come back for more. Just shows,
yeah,
it is the family word is so commonly used and just used for the sake of it sometimes.
yeah.
But
That's true.
yeah,
Like
I
a
think
cliche. Yeah,
we do have a really good Spurs family, and no other. And I'm telling you now, no other football club has that. No other
yeah,
football club has that.
yeah. I'm telling you now, and probably in sports, it's Spurs family is very unique. It is very very unique, and I was
Murray,
just
that link that he sent out today, mate. I started that Spurs family YouTube that group with just me, Cody, Brian, Danny, and Marcelo. Just five of us.
yeah,
About 8 months ago it was, and now whoever's in it, obviously people have come and left as well and branched off,
yeah.
but the core is still there, and yeah, man, the family's grown, the
It's
family has
branched
grown,
off.
and
Yeah,
it's not a fake family. No one's there for the sake of being there. They're there because they want to be there,
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's great,
absolutely.
and it's
And
absolutely
thanks for
fantastic.
adopting me into the family.
yeah.
There are
Same,
some
same
people
here.
that we regret bringing into the family, but we won't talk about that,
But you're
Cole.
stuck. Once you're in, you're in. It's
and
like the
That's
only
it,
way
man.
out is in a
and
box.
before we get
That's it.
back to the game, I will say, guys, go in your stream and check out Colin's channel, Talking Ball, Chatting Shit,
100%, man.
Friday show, which I also regret missing being a counselor in what I do.
Yeah.
Um, I cannot believe I missed that show, but I watched the whole show. It was
Thanks,
beautifully
man.
done in regards to mental health, which is important, very important for men, women, children. Please have that support system. Be open in talking to people. There are people who do care. And now more than ever, it's been, I could tell you all the numbers of what, especially these last 2 years with COVID and isolation and seclusion. Please take care of yourself. Have that support of your friends and family. We're talking about losing family, and it's always good to talk. Yes, we're football family, but also socially and as a family, we get together. And so, excellent stream. Please watch it, check it out. Um, it was perfect, and I was just like, man, this weekend I've missed streams. But I actually have a week off. I can actually do morning streams from the UK because I'm actually off this week. Schools are closed, so I
Yeah, man.
so I
Well,
may just
and
be
hey,
hopping on shows after shows after
and
shows.
Mari, we're planning on doing more of the mental health streams too. So the next
Yeah.
one that we do, we'll definitely make it to where we have it at a time and you can be
Yeah,
there for sure.
yeah, no, most definitely, most definitely. Appreciate you guys, Jody says, and definitely much love, and we all can relate.
I was an emotional wreck in that, man. I was.
It was hard. It was hard, but it was
I
important.
cried
And
about 3 times in that stream, man. It was
Yeah,
hard.
but it
yeah,
was important, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think
100%.
it was. I think we all needed it in some way, and I'm really glad that we got to do it together. You know.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, Colin, and then we'll go on to Bob. So, Tale of Two Halves.
Oh God, you couldn't have said it any better, man. Absolutely. First half was shit, but I had a feeling. I had a feeling. I don't know. You can ask. I watched with my mom and some friends today, and halftime I said, it's not over. I wouldn't be surprised if we get ourselves back in this, and then Harry, hitting the post like right after the second half
At 30
begins.
seconds. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that kind of puts everybody in a good mood. That shows our players that it's possible. The belief, is there then, and we kind of put our foot on the gas. We start to impose ourselves on the match, and yeah, tale of two halves for sure. But then in the second half, I was pretty impressed with what I saw. It wasn't the prettiest at times, and it wasn't like beautiful football for the
Mm.
whole time. But we fought hard. We never
Yeah.
gave up. We didn't hang our heads, and we came back. We had shots on target first of all, guys, and so I mean, shoot,
Yes.
right? It was, and then goals, and Reggie's goal made me so happy. Just to see how happy he was. Sorry that I keep it going, but then Cess coming on was wonderful too. I like seeing
Oh
Sessegnon come on,
yeah.
and I hope that Conte that he gets some utilization in the squad. I think we're gonna have to use him. I mean, Davis looks nailed on to that left center. That he's no longer really rotation at left back, or because we don't play with a left wing back now, and so I mean Sessegnon's we don't play with a left back. We play with a left wing back now, and so I mean Sessegnon's we're gonna have to lean on him at least somewhat. And so seeing him get into the game was positive. He linked up pretty well with some players, and I don't know. It was just a good. The second half was good in a lot of ways.
Mm.
It was encouraging for sure. Don't you think, Bob?
Yeah, 100%. I think first half we showed why before Conte these players had lost 50% of their league games. We saw that. We saw Conte is easily a world class manager. He's easily in the top four managers in the Premier League already, but he's no miracle worker, man. I don't think we should be afraid of saying the likes of, I don't know, Winks had a good game, but let's be honest, it wasn't top class performance from a Harry Winks. Um, I don't know who else. Hoybier wasn't absolutely fantastic today. Sonny had a bit of an off game. I don't think we should be blinded by the fact we have a world class manager, but we are allowed mediocre performances from players. We have to be honest. These are the players who lost half of the games before Conte came in. Now there is improvement, of course. So second half, man, the way he was geeing up players, the fans. There was more emotion from him than some of our players have shown this season. Nuno, in his whole tenure, he showed more
Yeah.
passion in one game.
Yeah.
So, but I don't expect miracles, and I said that right from the off. We're going to have many a nil-nil performances and defeats, halves where we haven't had shots on goal. Their 19-year-old forward, Leeds forward, had more shots on goal in the first by the first 45 minutes. Their 19-year-old forward had more shots on goal than we had in 2.5 games.
Uh,
That's a
Hey, he
fact.
looked. Hey, but he looked good
It
though.
looked
Like
good, yeah. It looked
yeah.
so
good.
he
So,
looked a
so
player. Like he was
yeah,
no mug
yeah.
for sure.
So I'm not expecting any miracles, but the second half just shows what if first half showed what the reason why we lost 50% of our league games. Second half showed what Conte can do with better players. I mean, if you can get that sort of performance with, let's be honest, average players, can't shy away from it. Winks is average. Sonny today was average. I'm not saying he's an average player. Hoybier was average. The goal did overshadow a
Yeah.
very
I
average
mentioned it.
performance.
Yeah.
So, but again, he's pulled it out of the bag. I don't think we would have won this game under Nuno. I really don't. But it
Yeah.
just shows we are making progression. We have got a system in place. We have got a formation in place. It was that slight mentality, slight gear change. Slight. He said himself. He goes, "We went man to man in the second half, and that helped the formation." I don't think Nuno would have had that in him. But then again, why expect that from Nuno when he is a mediocre,
Mid-table. Yeah.
average manager? So yeah, well, good, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, not expecting miracles, but just another glimpse of what Conte is capable of with better players, and of course, we need better players.
Yeah. One player that was, I thought, steadied the ship defensively, and I gotta give him props because we always get on him, but this year has been, it's been a good year for him is Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer, I thought, was really good in this game. He's definitely the one of the three. I thought was instrumental in this game. What's your thinking about Eric Dyer? We'll start with Bob this time.
Yeah, I've never any stream. I mean, me and Brian disagree with this as well. Me and Kim absolutely hates. Oh, hates. Okay, yeah, she hates Dyer. She absolutely has no time for him whatsoever. I've never dissed. I then again, I've never really called out any player or but Dyer for me hasn't. The fact that he's always available, he's hardly ever injured, he's hardly ever on the front or the back page.
Yeah,
He always gives his 100%. His best might not be good enough for us, um, but there is always a dire moment. He'll always fuck up a brilliant performance by doing one dodgy thing. But he's got a good game in him. He's had a few good games in him. You know, when we won 2-0 against Man United and Arsenal last season or under Mourinho, him and Toby were absolutely fantastic at the back. So there's always a good game or two in him. What lets him down is that dire moment, and no pun intended, that dire moment in a game. But hey, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. If Conte's capable of cutting that out of Dyer, then of course we've got a brilliant player. We've got a player. We've got an international defender. He just needs to keep that in check. And if Conte can help, then brilliant. The squad suddenly becomes a stronger squad, doesn't it? But yeah, he had a good game today. But he has got them games in it.
Colin.
I mean, I didn't think
Big up Thiago, by the way. Big up Thiago.
Thiago's a
Yep.
man. But yeah, so I mean, Dyer. What is there to say about Dyer? One thing that I don't like about him. One thing I used to love about Dyer was that he was kind of like I don't know. There's not really like hard men in the game like there were back in the day, but Dyer used to be kind of hard. He used to be tough. He used to be, and I don't see nearly as much of that from him as I used to. And that was something that I think kind of helped, where he maybe like lacked in some like skill, or had some deficiencies. His like heart and his just being tough kind of made up for it. And we haven't seen that from him as much lately, which is a bummer. That was, like I said, that was one of his major redeeming qualities. We all remember just stuff like that. You remember the interview, and people say stuff about Tottenham, and we don't like it, and
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And back when, and I loved that like fire and stuff that he had, and I wish that he. I wish that he
Cody's
still
right.
had
Cody's
more
right.
of that. Just because a better team probably punishes it.
Yeah, no, is that exactly right? He was
Yeah.
our quarterback today. He kept the calm without team. Um,
I was gonna say I also think that he's a calming presence in the defense, and I think having Davis next to him, weirdly enough, I think helps. Davis is one of the most like calm players I've seen like on the ball, especially like whenever there's pressure. I know that he's not like excellent, but he's very relaxed and seems assured in that position. And so I think having him in that back three actually helps maybe make Dyer look better even.
Guys, do you think there's any players who you can point the finger at and say, take ability out of it? I think, when it comes to the likes of Winks, Doherty, their best isn't probably good enough for a Tottenham Hotspur football club. But is there any player that you can point the finger at and say, you don't give us, certainly some content in it, you don't give us 100%?
like like I said, I'll use Winks as an example. I really think Winks loves the team. He loves the badge.
So you
I
think,
just,
yeah,
I just don't think he's good enough.
his ability, yeah.
So his ability is not good enough. I think the players who maybe lollygag, as we say in the states, or half-ass it, are gone. I
Well,
think.
Deli Ali's still around.
Well, yeah, Deli Ali. Um, Deli
Yeah,
Ali
Brian
is still
Daigle,
around.
Deli Ali, yeah.
Yeah, because Suzuku, I questioned him sometimes. Um, Aurier, I thought half-assed it sometimes. He's gone, you know, and so the players that we have left are really, 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 really trying hard. But I think other than Delhi, the only one, and I don't even think he's half-assed. I just think he's slow. Is his daughtery. I think me personally, I think he's slow. But um, oh yeah, Tenge. Yeah, of course, Num Dum Baller, or as they call him. Um, but maybe one or two, Deli Ali and Tenge.
What about you, Cole?
I mean, Tanga especially. I mean, yeah, I want him to succeed. I think probably like just as much as anyone that I know. I love the dude. Been watching, his highlights, like anticipating him coming to the team for like a year before we finally signed him. I love the dude. I love what he could do with the ball. But yeah, it's undeniable times where he's not giving it his all on the pitch. But then the same things I see with him and his body language. I mean, I saw from Kane for a lot of the games this season. So like, where's the, you know what I mean? Where do we? If we're going by that metric, then I could put Kane in there too and say that he wasn't giving 100% effort for the club. At least I didn't see it. I didn't think so at the beginning of the season. Um, but yeah. There's been games. I think a lot of the players. To answer your question, Bob, I think there's a lot of the players that didn't give 100% to Nuno,
Yeah.
and I think that it's maybe it's different now, and we've got a manager who they think is up to their Kane especially thinks is up to their level though, and that they're willing to push for. But to me, that shows a lack of professionalism, a lack
Yeah.
of maturity kind of on the play. This is your fucking job, and these guys are your boss, and it's you're paid to go and play and fight for them. And Thiago,
Thiago.
and you know what I mean? Like, don't you agree, Bob? Like, I don't. It just sort of seems disrespectful, and I get it. I can wrap my head around the why, but that still doesn't really excuse it or like make it
We
okay.
you always get that, don't you? That's where the new manager bounce comes from. You know, when Leicester, after the title winning season, they dropped down tools and Ranieri left, and I still remember the game. They'd gone like 11, 12 games without winning. The first game, and the next manager was against Liverpool, and they beat him 2-0. And I remember Jamie Carragher absolutely, not the fact that they beat Liverpool, but sitting there going, what's up? I'd question the players. You're always going to get that. Harry Kane suddenly today, I believe, was his best performance of the season for Spurs.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
my
was
God, he
about to
was a
Sort of,
say
tank.
that.
sort of-
He was such a tank, just
yeah,
riding so many
Looking for
challenges. Just
position. I was about to ask that, but
yeah.
hello, big up to Tiago. Welcome to it's to the recap, Tiago.
Thanks.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother, for jumping on. I'll give you this question, because I said earlier, I thought Kane, if anybody wanted to question him down tooling or half-assing it, this wasn't the game. He was actually fighting. He was just unlucky today, really unlucky, and he fought for position. He was fighting. He didn't go down easily. He brought the fight. Did we see a different Kane today? A better Kane? Kane now who now believes in the Conte project.
Yeah, I agree. From the front three, you could see that he was the one who's running the most and the first one to try pressing Leeds. That second half chance, like under a minute, he was so unlucky. But I thought he could have maybe made a decision a little bit quicker. I think his decision making is still a little bit off. But yeah, you can't deny that he improved a lot comparing to other performances he's had before. And hopefully he just keeps improving. And from the next game on, he starts scoring the goals, which is what we need.
Well,
Yeah,
we have to be honest, Thiago, as well, don't we? I mean, improving from his previous performances wasn't a hard thing to do for Harry
Yeah,
Kane, but I think what we saw was a bit more hunger. I mean, I've got the game there, and the way he tracked back and won a ball when Leeds were going on the counter. His close knit skills. He's taken on players, turning.
Oh man, yeah.
The way it's a weird one because let's not forget Conte loves a number 9. You know, he brought the best out of a Lukaku, Costa, Llorente, and I'm sure he'll do the same with Harry Kane as well. Like I say, it was good today. Wasn't hard to improve on his previous performances, but it was good to see him going to that next level. Slowly, he'll get there. One thing you guys know, I've never ever questioned, unlike Daigle, I've never ever questioned Harry Kane's place in the side, and I've always said I disagree with what he did at the beginning of the season, but he's one of the best strikers in the world, man. And
I've always been honest that I'm
right.
super fickle, and that I've been really angry with all the shit that happened, and I've been angry with his performances. But as soon as he starts banging him in again, I forgive him, and it's all water under the bridge, and so that's me, fickle as fuck. But that's fine. At least I know it, right? You know, at least
I'll piss off Daigle.
Yeah, Daigle coming deep. Yeah, I mean, he did come deep, and I that does need to be like addressed. I guess.
Second, but the thing is, the difference was he had players who were up front. Again, I'm watching. He's played Sessegnon through. He played Lucas through. He played Sonny through. Who, if you want to say someone who's had a shit game today, Sonny was rubbish today.
He was. I thought he was going to come off for Bergwijn.
Yeah,
I really did.
Lucas wasn't anything spectacular. I thought Kane pissed all over both of them.
Yeah,
I thought Kane out of the front three was easily the better. So. Yeah, take your Kane hating glasses, tinted glasses off, Daigle. Missed him today. Missed him.
Thank you, Curse, for the love and support. For all those who commented, I saw the messages, and me and my mom say thank you. Just the salute. So I just want to give Curse and anybody else that posted yesterday on Bob's stream just a thank you once again. Brian says work rate better, but that's all. And that's what we asked the work rate to be better. Piss off, Bob. Conte will know the squad's frailties. Hopefully, he will be able to rectify it and help the board. And I mentioned this to Colin earlier that I think it was good that he started Winks. And some players who are starting, because this is the time to prove it, and this is the time where it's kind of the final audition. And if you're not going to do great at this final audition, you're gone. And so I think it was perfect that Winks started, because now it gives Conte a better in-game decision of just like, okay, when January comes around, or the summer, this guy needs to go. So I know a lot of people were panicking when they saw Winks and started lineup. I actually thought it was kind of good because we need to get rid of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Brian's in the house. Brian, your thoughts of the game? It was a tale of two halves, right?
Listen, I'm only on briefly because I'm feeling fucking shit. After the game, I am as rough as shit. I've been in bed ever since. But some person who's put his camera off there started to listen. Kate, listen. You're talking about Lucas. I'm just going to mention a tweet that I just retweeted. Remember, Lucas set up Son to hit the bar, set up Kane to hit the post, assisted Højbjerg to the goal, and won the free kick that led to Reguilon's goal scoring the winner. Lucas was all over the place. Harry Kane. Don't get me wrong, his performance was better. There's no doubt it was better, but he was told to stay up top and to stay in the box and be alert. He kept coming deep. His decision-making near the end, there were so many times when he got through and it was easy to slip a person through, and he didn't. Don't get me wrong, the work rate and the performance was better, but he did not have a good game. He had a better game than he's had done, but like you said, brother, Bob, it weren't hard to have a better game than he was. But you come back from scoring it was only San Marino. Yes, I did it right. And Albania.
Reno.
And Albania. And all right, their defense is better, but you should have come back absolutely firing, staying up top. Absolutely, he had so many attempts when he could have shot as well. When we didn't have a shot on target again for the first half. Scott, I'm not saying that Lucas was brilliant. If you just listen to what I said, he was involved in all the good things that happened. Like Cody was saying,
By the way,
like Cody was saying with Dyer.
Lucas was second as in the player who lost the possession most. By the way, in today's game.
Okay, but this is like I keep saying with Lucas, he loses the possession because he's not like Harry Winks and passes the ball sideways. He tries to go forward and he tries to do the things to get the people up the pitch. Now, I'm not saying I love Lucas. I'm not saying woohoo, champagne and Skittles. He was blinding, but those things that I just read, he had an impact on the game, on the crucial points. Every single one that I've just mentioned, Kane hitting the post, Son hitting the bar right as a deflection, the assist for Højbjerg, and the foul to set up the free kick. All Lucas. All Lucas. That's factual. That's not me going, oh, yeah. You can't say that about Harry Kane today. Dyer was fantastic. I completely agree with what Cody's been saying. I saw him on Judge Judy, and what he was saying. Listen, you cannot fault if people are big enough.
Jody is
the lawyer out here. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Jody.
Thank you.
I do not miss Mourinho. I'm so happy I came on here for some reason. I'm just
Mourinho deserves all the RSCP.
Yeah, he does. Thank you. And yeah, listen, Dyer was great. Fact. It doesn't say a lot about the team. I think Davinson Sanchez looked good when he came on. You were saying Session looked good. Wiggs, I don't even want to talk about.
Davis looked good, right?
Davies and Reguilon for the goal looked. I mean, the first half was one of the most shocking first halves I've ever seen. But before, I think we've all got to mainly take credit at the impact Conte had and his antics on the bench and on the sideline. Oh God, you started that. You started Steve Bob. What's he done? I'm so happy I came on. I just wanted to come on to correct Bob, and I've just been absolutely battered. So happy.
It's not midget porn.
Big up, Bryce.
Man. But I agree with Brian, with Eric Dyer. Like he was the quarterback. He was the calm of the team, and man of the match. Dyer. As much as we hate him and we make fun of him, but Eric Dyer, I think he's having a one of his best years for us, and so yeah.
But I'm still a little bit skeptical about Dyer because last season under Jose, he also started really well. When we reached top of the league for a few weeks, he was very good, and then Dyer just did a Dyer like every single year. And about Lucas, I think that was Lucas in a nutshell this game because when he's on the game, he's brilliant, but when he's not, he's terrible. His first half was not good. I was pissed off, but the second half he was everywhere, and I think it's just what Lucas is. When he's good, he's really good. When he's not good, he's awful. And well, I'm happy he improved in the second half because I like him. I like his work rate, but I'm starting to get a little bit over him. I think he needs to be on since minute one every single game, not have this ups and downs. And I think it goes for the whole team, not only for Lucas, of course.
Yeah, and so it's going to be really interesting because this is kind of the year for Lucas. There's going to be a lot of tough decisions in January and in the next summer transfer window, and and like I said, he is the man who scored the hat trick of the Ajax game. He helped us during the Champions League run, and he's had an awesome preseason. But someone I saw in another stream, has Lucas hit his ceiling? Is there any more to him? And it was a Spurs rep in Brazil. talk sport. So my last word, where there was just talk about with Lucas, it's pretty much his ceiling, you know, that what we're seeing, and so um, and but it's just so tough because and I totally understand what Brian's saying because some of the opportunities that we've had to score was up by Lucas, but in the first half, some our play dies with him. It dies with Winks. It dies with even Hoiberg, who scores. That's why it's like it's an enigma because Hoiberg scores, but the ball, the movement dies with him. I like to say, um, and it's just so frustrating. And so it's it almost comes to a point where if we're seriously all right going for a Kessie or a Bragovic, you know, do these guys automatically start in our midfield? I say yes, you know,
Well,
because I
yeah,
because I think our midfield is. I mean, we all know it
we
lacks
clearly have a
creativity.
problem. Yeah, we can't link attack to or defense to attack. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no good link between the two. We need somebody to do that, and that can be done in like a number of ways. There's the Modric type player, there's the Dembele type player, there's and Winks is more the Modric type. I mean, I'm not really comparing them because there's not a whole lot to compare, but I'm just saying, you know, he should be pulling the strings from back there. He should be making those passes and.
Revenge. Revenge is a bitch.
Do what?
Yeah, Bob Burke just got some karma coming his way.
I had a Jalfrezi tonight, mate. That was good enough. So
There you go. There
no
you go.
problem.
I have to say one thing that was embarrassing. Have you seen on Twitter the new Ole 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 song that they tried to
No,
sing in the Spurs stadium?
no.
Mm.
No, I haven't
Oh
seen it.
Jesus Christ! So obviously that song has got a lot of meaning for the Champions League run and ever. And you know the guitarist and whatever in the West Band that does all the stuff. They started singing. So the Conte arrived, he went mad, he came and banned ketchup, and now he's banned mayonnaise. Ole Ole. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, please no. Please no. I was like, don't get that singing in the stand. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. So,
Thank you, thank you,
you're welcome. I'll send it to you,
thank
Bob.
so here is the controversy. Not very much a controversy, but it's a little rant. And with some of these players, especially this particular player, it's been really a tough adjustment for him. And they're all professional, they're all big boys, but um, like we talk about Lucas, some people felt Bergvine should have started, right? So it's a happy time, it's a happy day. Everybody's happy about Conte again. Everybody riled up, and of course, the media always wants sour on Spurs. And so I'm gonna show you a picture that immediately came up. I'll show you the picture. Okay, and it came with the caption of, you know, Steven Bergvine, Daughtery, they're not excited. They're, basically everything negative, 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 negative because they didn't come in and play. My thing is number one, you ask anybody, any sport, people want to play. And they have a right to feel this point want to play. It's not saying they're being
Absolutely,
negative
yeah.
or being bad. It's just they want to play. When I played sports or I played football, I wanted to play. Either if I was started or I was in the bench, I wanted to play. They take a clip where they're hugging the players, right? Even if they're disappointed, right? Let's just say they're disappointed they didn't play. They automatically assume they bring in drama saying that, oh, these players are on board because they're not smiling in the picture. And this is the media. This is where the media gets dangerous because they like to set the narrative. We don't know what is in the minds of those players right now. We don't know the truth. But the media always wants to overlook facts whatsoever with the narrative. So, like, I'll pull, I'll give you the exact quote. It
It's on the
says
Spurs web, isn't it?
Spurs Web is some other stream outlets.
Yeah.
Bergvine and Daughtry didn't appear overly keen for a big embrace from Antonio Conte after the win today. Um, Spurs fans are not impressed with the behavior of the two. First of all, how are you speaking for all Spurs fans saying that they're not impressed with the behavior? Uh, they didn't play. You're showing us the picture, and you cannot unfairly judge them from this picture. Like, like I said, I'm not their advocate, I'm not their lawyer, but you got to be fair. And now you have fans saying, "Oh, Bergvine is soaking." Like, Bergvine's coming from a high. He had a great international break. I want to see Bergvine play. I want him to have that confidence. We don't need the fan base turning on him. If they're gonna turn on him, turn on his play. But you cannot. It's like unfair. When I saw this, it had my blood boiling because I'm like, you know, the media does that, and like I said, guys like Paul Pogba and stuff like that, they deserve the criticisms on the field or whatsoever. But the media is very quick to bring a narrative, and sometimes we as consumers buy that narrative, and then we say, okay, the person's this way, and that's why some players they do go through the depression. And I hope this doesn't get to Bergvine, especially him, because any sign of confidence will help him. Conte said he will give every player a chance, including Daughtery, to earn their way to the club. So, um, I'll start with Colin. Your opinion of what I just said, because this
I'm
had
I'm
me. This spoiled a great day. I mean, a great positive atmosphere after the game. Of
well.
just
Here's what I gotta say. Don't let it spoil it too much for you, man, because some people are just looking for stuff to be negative about, and that's like the case here, in my opinion. Like you said, and I pointed this out. We talked about it a little bit. I was on Tommy's stream for a little while earlier, and we talked about the same thing. And like you're supposed to get angry whenever you don't play. You're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to. That's how I want my players. I don't want to have players that are okay with sitting on the bench and collecting their pay at the end of the week. I don't want that. And so if they're mad about not playing, if they're upset, for one, they're probably upset with themselves just as much in the situation as much as they are with Conte or with anybody else. They know if they have or haven't been putting in the effort into training. They understand that they're professionals. They're not children. They're professionals. They've been doing this a long time. They understand that the team and the end result of the team is it's yeah. I just think it's silly, honestly. And these guys are going to get their chance for sure. And we saw Bergvine with Holland. He's got he's got it in him. He's looking like he's got the goal. His eye for goal back. Got the touch back. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing him feature more. These guys need to bide their time, and they know that. And maybe they're not jumping for joy here, but guess what? It also wasn't the best game Spurs ever played. It wasn't like it was the most exciting match. It wasn't like I don't know what everyone wants from them. You know what I mean? To me, they're not doing anything wrong, and I don't see anything really wrong with it. But I'd like to hear other opinions if anybody else does.
Yeah, can I go first, because then I'm going to leave because I'm burning up here and I just need to lay down. So, first of all, here you can flip it the other way and say Conte disrespects players by not giving them eye contact. It's that simple. You don't know if this is part of the embrace where they've just finished hugging and they're leaving. The way this photo is taken and the way it's been dealt with is stupid. This whole thing is it's clickbait. People want a couple of clicks. Listen, we've won a game. These are professional players that haven't played. You don't know. You can't tell from a freeze frame. If we had a complete caption or rolling footage of how they responded, that's different.
Yeah.
But this embrace means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Conte's not looking at them, like I said. The media can look at it the other way around. It's just an absolute load of nonsense to try and stir something up that really isn't there.
Yeah.
Totally and utterly. And it will always happen. It will always happen. And on that note, I'm going to go because I need to sleep. Love you all. Bob, I'll speak to you tomorrow for sure, brother.
Love
And
you,
yeah,
Brian.
love you too, guys. Leave you out as
Thanks,
always.
man.
Comedy Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah. Let me read Cody's comment. He says this is total BS. Let me ask you this: what would Conte himself express if he was in Bergvine and Dodry's position? He'd be pissed. So this is a good thing, if anything. Nothing but nothing burger at worst. Totally agree. And it's just I hate the fact that the media is always trying to put in negative, always trying to rain on our party. This is nothing. We don't know the whole picture of it, like Brian says, and it's just people just trying to and I don't know why we get sucked into things like that. And so
We spoke about the media yesterday, Mari, and it's nothing special, man. It's created debate. It's created an opinion, a narrative amongst the Spurs fans. Because believe it or not, some fans will look at that and think, "Yeah, oh my God, look at that! He's got a point. He's got a point." Whereas we know, I like to think we know, and the people in the chat know, it's a load of fucking bullshit, man. And you know what? If they weren't pissed, it's going to go two ways. Conte's going to turn around, look at them, right? They've trained like their fucking life depends on it all week. Not Doherty, Bergwijn. And he's come to Saturday and he's disappointed because he's not been able to get minutes. Why the fuck should he be happy about it? Why should he be happy about it? Why should he be, any player be happy about it? Good, good. And but if it comes to the point where they're unhappy about it and they're not happy with the team winning, then he'll just say, "Get the fuck out."
yeah,
He knows. He's been a player himself. I don't know who mentioned it.
a couple of
Scott,
people.
Jummy's mentioned it, and Scott, Cody's mentioned it as well.
Yeah,
He's a player himself. He knows what. He doesn't have to look at.
yeah,
Be surprised by the fact that Bergwijn and Doxy might not be happy, but I still don't think it's that. I just think it's bullshit. They've paused it somewhere where it looks a bit, I don't know,
manipulated.
dodgy. But no, man, it's. I never saw it. I never saw it on TV. No one else picked up on it. It's media, a certain Twitter handle just trying to make a story because I don't know. Maybe they aren't happy with the fact that we won today. It's bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. And whoever falls for it makes me question their intellect.
Yeah, Tiago.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say anything after you guys said everything. I completely agree with everyone. And now it's when we're going to see Conte's man management. How's he going to go into the dressing room and say, look, Bergwijn, Doherty, you didn't play for reasons one, two, and three, but you're going to get your chance in the future. So just keep working. Your chance will come. And when it comes, make sure you take it. And if you take it, you're going to get more minutes and more minutes.
Yeah,
And if you keep playing and performing, you're gonna get into the team. I think that's how football works, and there's nothing wrong with them being pissed or upset. As Bob said, they worked the whole week to not get any minutes. Why would they be happy? If they were happy, is when we should be concerned because like okay, you're not playing and you're happy, so you're just here for the money. You don't really care about playing, you know. It's just like them the meme people made of Oli when he was like losing, but he was doing thumbs up and smiling. It's the same thing. We should be concerned if they were smiling and happy, but they're
yeah,
not, which shows it's good because they want to play.
yeah. No, it's
I,
exactly what you
I, I
said.
just one thing more. I just want to say about Portuguese, man. He kind of comes on. He's not over Jose for some reason, and then he always tries to make a comment about. First of all, Mourinho throwing players under the bus isn't a media narrative, man. He fucked up
It's a
himself.
It's a documented thing, my guy.
He fucked up himself, Portuguese. He sat there in the media, talk bullshit about Toby. That wasn't created by the media. The media justified his bullshit. He was shit for Spurs. Get over it. He took us backwards. We're still catching up with his bullshit. The players have never been good enough. We all know that. But he did not help. He never did anything at Spurs, in my opinion, and that's my opinion. He did fuck all at Spurs.
I don't think he ever really planned to do. I don't think
I,
he planned to do much at Spurs, Bob. I think that he really just wanted back into management, and he saw it as a
yeah,
springboard into the spotlight and more jobs. I think he knew what he was getting himself into. I think he knew that he and Daniel Levy wouldn't last long together, and I don't think he honestly ever really had much plans of doing
total
anything.
waste. Our time with Jose was a total waste because he came in and he left us
unsettled,
in the worst,
unsettled Kane to fuck, like completely unsettled Kane.
He should have gone loads. I was calling him out from October, man. He should have gone ages ago.
I think it was a bad marriage, a marriage that could have worked out if there was a understanding of what each other wanted, but it was
Agreed.
a bad marriage
Agreed.
in the sense of what the board wanted and what he wanted.
If he got backed, then yeah, he would never going to make that team successful. It was never ever going to work. He was always going to make it toxic because little Jose Mourinho was never going to get his way with that board, and he was always going to. But rather than work on it and try and make it work, he just turned it out. He just turned it out pretty shit. So, like I say, I wanted him out ages ago. I wanted him out since the day he came in, and that's not my narrative. It was my feeling, and Mr. K will back me up. I said, look, calm down. Even when we're top of the league, I'm like, just calm down. Let's just wait till the business end comes. He never won a single must-win game under us, and that's a fact. Never.
Portuguese said, "Don't think so, Bob."
Okay, but hey, you can respond. Hey, you can respond to somebody. You can respond to somebody throwing him the bus. Just because they responded doesn't mean that he didn't throw him under the bus. I'm not saying he did either. I'm just saying that doesn't automatically mean that he didn't. Just because he responded to something doesn't mean.
Ndombele responded to Jose and up his game. He hardly completed fucking 90 minutes under Jose, man. No. Like I say, it's only my opinion. Like I say, to me, he was a waste of fucking time. Took us backwards, wasted our time, wasted his time, wasted our money, and Nuno just compiled it. Just made it worse. So hopefully we've got the right man in. But Jose should never ever come to us. He's a dinosaur. He's a dinosaur. It's only a matter of time before Roma sack him. Mark my words. It's only a matter of time before Roma sack him.
Just a quick thing, Mari. What pisses me off about this whole Jose story is Spurs fans are so attached to the past. Just forget him. Like we have
exactly. Yeah. Move on, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing I mentioned about Poch. I was going to talk about it on the Love Lounge. You know, it's you know, and this is before. Go ahead.
Like all I want to say is like everybody tries to find one person to blame, or it was 100% Jose's fault, or it was 100% the player's fault, or it was 100% the board's fault. It was everybody's fault. Jose didn't do good enough. The players could have done better. We know that they could have played more and tried harder. And the board should have backed Jose more with
Thiago,
players.
I agree with you, but if you're that good a manager, your players will work for you. I'm sorry, but all this stuff, there is an element of truth. And I'm not talking about Jose now. I'm talking about any manager. The players stop playing for the manager. The players aren't good enough for the manager. The players are shit. The players are this. At what point does manager hold it? With Jose, there was a big narrative about the players not being good enough. Well, I'm sorry if I'm a manager, and I said this, be it Nuno, be it Jose, be it Poch. If I'm telling them to do something and they're not doing it right, I'll tell them to do something else. If they're not doing that right, then I'm telling them a third time. But if it keeps on happening, I start questioning myself. Maybe I'm not telling them the right thing. Maybe I'm not good enough, because these players cannot constantly turn out shit after shit. Now, of course, there are some players who are average. But we had world-class players under Jose who just couldn't perform. We had world-class players playing in against Zagreb who couldn't turn it around, against Everton away who couldn't win, against Liverpool in a must-win away game. We couldn't turn it around against Arsenal after coming in winning 5 games in a row against the likes of Burnley and for whoever it was, and couldn't show up. Suddenly, we're winning 5 games. It's all because of Jose, but we lose a game. It's all against players. Fucking sort it out, man. Jose was a waste of time, and I wish we never got him. There's no legacy. He's not left us with anything to work on. You tell me one thing that we should have taken on from Jose that we should be implementing right now. Nothing. Whereas still now we're looking back at Poch, even though his the end of his tenure was pretty shit. But there's still elements of his tenure we could look at and think we should be taking that into today. There's absolutely fuck all, and I mean absolutely zilch. We should be taking anything from the Jose tenure, and that just proves how shit a manager he was for us.
For me, there's only one thing: don't sign Portuguese managers, because every time we get a Portuguese manager, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. No, definitely. And to put this to bed, like I said, I just thought, after a great game, everybody's happy. The media stirring the pot. Oh, 2 players are angry.
Yeah.
This is not proof that the players are angry. If they look disappointed, yes, they disappointed. Because, like I said, if you're an athlete, if you're a true athlete, you want to play. Messi gets mad when he gets taken off. Ronaldo when he doesn't start or doesn't come in the game, he's fuming, and that's what we want our players to be fuming. But if I said, you know what, I just came back hot from the international break, I put in the work in the week. Oh yeah, man, I want to play. And this picture is no proof that
Yeah.
there's now discord, and it's just haterade going, haters, trying to put you know, you know, dissension with the group, and there is none. So they can piss off the
But not in the
the
not in the
media.
cool nice way. Yeah,
No, no,
Well,
no.
not not in the cool Bob boy.
Yeah.
you can use the narrative of Bergwijn pissed off because he's just been poked in the eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Doherty not happy about Conte feeling his nipple. You got
Conte stepped on his foot, maybe.
my,
Right
my
before
rampant dislike. By the way, Portuguese, a big difference between rampant dislike and a consistent narrative. My narrative about Jose has been consistent since October, a couple of years ago. So no, it's not I'm consistent, mate. I'm consistent.
Bryce, I love this. I love my brother Bryce, man. He said, "Why is it?"
Out of
whenever
all the
Mar-
comments, Mari, out of
Thank you,
all the
Lord.
comments, you applaud this one. Fucking hell, man. Bryce, there you go, man. There you go. You made it. You've made it. You made it, brother.
Oh man. Oh man. Um. Craig did bring up a good point. The telepathic, which we're still waiting for between Kane and Song, was maybe one thing we could take from Jose. if there was one thing, that was the one thing.
The what, sorry?
That telepathic relationship between Song.
I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But so yeah, so now we got Burnley coming up. We have a conference league this week, right?
Mora,
Turning on
baby.
Thursday.
And
Yeah,
yes,
Mora.
Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a home game?
No, away.
Away. Okay.
Away. Yeah.
We should be able to win that game. I would think. You think Conte starts a strong starting 11 against Murray?
That's a good question.
No.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason to start all of our starters, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of a mix of veteran players and some youth, perhaps. Definitely some players that haven't been getting a chance, like Doherty and Bergwijn.
But suddenly a team of a Galini, a Tanganga, a Romero, who by the way can play, a Sessignon, a Bergwijn coming in suddenly doesn't look that bad a starting 11 against a Mora, like say a team who can't spell Lucas's surname properly. So we should be okay. We should be okay. I think we've got enough players who now will want to come in. Unlike Nuno, will probably want to now come in and say, you know what, this is the first team we want to play for. Let's show Conte what we're made of. Because out of the previous games against the Rennes, against Mora at home, no one's really come out of the game and became a thinking into certainly Nuno's mindset against Vitesse. I think Davis did that to an extent, although we conceded two goals. And Sanchez, when he came on with the headband and everything, even he became a thought process in Conte, and I think that's what the only thing players can do against Mora away. If we don't start a strong team, the second string team needs to come in. Players need to come in and become a thought in Conte's mind, because so far I don't think anyone's done that.
Has anybody seen Dane Scarlett in the training videos, or training pictures the last couple weeks?
No.
I've noticed I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. No, I was just wondering because I'm like,
No, sorry. Can you repeat the question? I'll admit.
have you seen any videos or pictures of Dane Scarlett in the training videos the last 2 weeks? I'm just I posed that question because I'm hoping he plays on Thursday.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. I have not. That's a great question. I haven't been looking though, to tell you the truth. But I have seen some photos and I have not seen him. So yeah, that is a good point. Very good question.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought about that at all.
Yeah.
He
So
wasn't in the squad today. He wasn't even on the bench.
He wasn't in bench, no. We had Hill, Sessignon,
Bergwijn, Dele,
Dele, yeah. They're the attacking performances people we had, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, because I'm thinking that he's gonna have to play on Thursday. I mean, we don't want Kane playing. We need the points. We can't risk. Yeah, I agree with Craig. Risk playing Kane and Son. Let alone just if they play, I don't want them playing 90 minutes. So
I think one of them starts.
Winky's in the house.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, you think one of them plays?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Just
I
to play
think-
safe.
Yeah, but also because like we only have Kane as striker. If it's not Kane, it's gonna be Son through the middle as a striker. So
Well, and also Son kind of could use to play himself into form. Son's been playing like shit, and so maybe
Yeah.
a game against, you know what I mean. But I guess he also did just come back from international duty where he didn't do too bad either.
Scored.
Can we speculate on what's the deal with his form lately for Spurs? Is he just tired, burnt out? I don't know, because he doesn't look that burnt out at international level. But I know the competition is different, of course.
I'm
You know
gonna,
what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest, Colin. It's we in the final third. We are shit in the final third, and he's part of it. It's just where that one pass, that one run. It's frustrating because you kind of see a hope, but then it's just kind of like that's why. I mean, Lucas is a natural enigma because it's just like, all right, what to run by Lucas? Oh, that pass was flat, or or it's so frustrating, and it's happening to Kane, Sonny, and Lucas in the final three, where where we expect them to be on point. It comes up downright frustrating. I'll be honest with you. At half, I was like, please put in Brian Hill. I was like, please put in Brian Hill. I want to see him with Kane. Me personally, I was just like, either you put Bergwijn in, take out Lucas, or take out Lucas and put in Brian Hill, because it
Lucas
it's
just
horrible.
dribbles into trouble. He dribbles himself into trouble so
pass it.
often, man. Lucas really does just just put his head down and dribble into groups
Yeah,
of players. And I asked this in the last stream I was in too. But do you guys think that when he's doing that, he legit thinks that he legit thinks he can get past the four players he's dribbling at, or does he have a plan? Is he an autopilot? Like I don't know. I don't know if he just thinks that that's his like a bit like that he's got the ability to do that, but it very rarely, if ever, comes off. So I mean, I don't know. Thiago, what do you think? 'Cause you might have watched him play more than some of us, being that he's your fellow countryman.
I think is he doesn't have a plan. If he had, he would see players around him, and there are lots of moments he can make a very good pass, but he doesn't. He just tries to go past four players all by himself. Um, and that is, I think, what someone said in the comments earlier. That is the reason why he was benched at PSG. He started as a very bright young player here in Brazil. He went to PSG, but then he was having no end product, and he was like just like run and dribble, and he went to the bench and never came back to starting 11. That's why he's here now.
Yeah, that's a bummer. And I mean, because we all know that he can score, and I mean Amsterdam we all watched, and we all it's just he's a weird one. He's a weird one for sure. Sometimes he's the only player that we have that seems like he's really driving and trying to push the team forward, but then so often we lose possession and give up what we've been building because of him making an error or dribbling into trouble and not seeing a pass.
Yeah,
So sometimes he can be great and are really like I said, the only thing pushing us forward, and then other times he's losing possession. And so yeah, I'm not really ever sure how to feel about him. It's also hard not to have some just extra special love for him because of that semifinal, man.
yeah.
That Addy.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts? I know there's more streams coming up, and I know there's one at 9:15 or 9:30. That's Wells. You guys could head over there to check out his stream of the recap of the game. Um, but any last words before we sign off, Colin?
Yeah. So I don't know if you want, and if you're feeling bad at all, or if you ever like just I don't know, feeling depressed and like you don't have anyone to talk to, just like reach out to somebody in the Spurs family, anyone that you feel close to, anyone that you talk to, because as you'll see if you watch like my mental health video that we did on my channel. And I said mine. It was all of our video. Sorry, that was really dumb of me to say it like that. But if you watch that video, you'll see that every single one of us struggles and has these same problems and the same feelings. And so it's just we really need to be here for each other. This is a time of year, especially too, where depression is like rampant. And just check on your friends, be there for each other. We're all a big family, and just that's my whole message. But also, come on, you Spurs and Conte, we trust, baby.
All right, Bob. Where can people find you? And your last words of the game.
Yeah, good win. Second half just shows us another glimpse of what Conte's can do. There was obviously a change in tactics and intensity. But yeah, well, I think it's if once he starts getting his own players in, and he makes it. We've got to remember half of these teams were away. He did pull in quite a hefty training session with the players that were there, but half of them were away. So there was that getting together and getting familiar with each other over a couple of days. But no, it's all good. It's all good. So we should be onwards and upwards. We've got a good set of teams coming up. We should hit a bit full. We're unbeaten under Conte, man. We're unbeaten.
Yeah, no, that's true. And do you have a day after the next show coming
Yeah,
up?
I should be doing a day after the day before show tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I am making my debut on Holly's channel. I've not been on there.
Nice.
So I'm
I
looking
saw
forward
that.
to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to that. It should
And
be.
I got good news. I'm actually available. So like I said, I'm on holiday.
Yeah,
So
man.
if you need
So
someone
yeah,
on the day after
definitely, man.
next,
Definitely, 100%. 100%.
I'm free.
100%.
And Tiago, I saw you on Colin's show. I think that was the first time I've seen you, and so really love the input that you put in. And I have a quick question: Are you in where are you located? Are you in Brazil or?
Yeah, I'm in Brazil. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Sao Paulo or Rio?
No, it's close to some, like in the middle of them, it's a state called Minas Gerais. It's a very small town.
It's where all the nuts are from.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
where Pelé is from.
Well, I'm in Orlando, Florida. We have a huge Brazilian population in Orlando, and actually, I saw Rivaldo 2 weeks ago at the mall. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Real nice guy. It's like, "Hey,
You didn't
uh,
touch him too hard, did you? Otherwise, he would have gone on the floor going, oh.
the I like to
Uh,
give celebrities
Uh,
their space." But Kaká lives in Orlando. I see him sometimes. Rivaldo, I've seen.
all
I
right.
actually see Ronaldinho, but I know Rivaldo does work with s- um say soccer camps, football camps here, and Kaká does work. And so, but my friends have always invited me to go to Brazil to go to Porto Alegre, and that
Oh yeah,
they wanted me. Um, I kind of have a Brazil team, Guillermo,
Right.
Grêmio. Yeah.
Guillermo, to root for them because I was like, yeah, I'll have a team.
No, no, don't do it. They're almost getting relegated. So
Well, I told them as long as, and you might not like me for this, mention my dad. My dad learned how to play football from an Argentinian. So I do pull for the Argentine national team, but if there's a South American team, I do follow. Um, I watch some of the games and stuff. Is Boca Juniors. So I said, all right, Guillermo will be second, because before that I was like, oh, Santos, Corinthians, but they're like, no. You want Guillermo. So I was like, okay, and so I'm like, but
yeah, like they're big. They have a huge history, but this season they are, I think, almost getting relegated in the league. So
oh
dang.
wow, okay. Man,
yeah.
yeah, because they won the Brazilian championship a couple years ago. Guillermo.
No, they won Libertadores a few years ago.
The Laboratory, yes, yeah, they won the South American championship, yeah. Which is, if you guys ever get a chance to watch those leagues, um, the passion, the atmosphere, it's nuts. If you ever get a chance to watch, a Colombian league game, Nacional, or Brazilian, or the Argentinian, it's deaf crazy. If you ever watch River Plate versus Boca, it's nuts. But yeah, where can people find you, or if you're about to start a channel?
Now that I have a channel, I've been going on streams on Colin's channel.
Okay,
He brought me to the Spurs YouTube family. This is my
nice.
wait. This is my Twitter. If you want to follow,
Definitely give him
if
a
you
follow.
wanna,
Mm.
Yeah,
if you wanna hear, not hear, yeah. If you wanna see me tweet about Spurs and everything, just follow me there. And yeah, it was a good weekend. Finally, Spurs made us happy. A win, three
yes,
points. Big games coming up. Good opportunities to improve, and calling you Spurs.
Come on.
yep.
Come on.
And for me, this is going to be an interesting week because I am off of work. I can sleep in,
I was gonna say,
watch.
keep rubbing it in, dude. We all got stuff to do except for you, so we get it. You don't have to do anything this week.
I can
Must
wake
be
up.
nice.
I could wake up early in the morning. I can actually appear on people's streams. I know a couple times Tommy and a couple other people. I'm like, I'm at work, but I can appear. And on Wednesday, we're gonna have a happy hour love lounge. I'm working on a couple of guests. I gotta talk to my brother Bob because this is gonna be a very interesting episode because it's gonna be a couple of hours earlier.
That means
So,
I can. That means I can be there.
oh, you don't have class?
I do, but not until like late in the evening. I only have a class at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. So
Okay.
if it's earlier than normal, I can definitely be there.
No, it's
So
definitely earlier. So yeah, you can definitely jump on because it's gonna be
sick.
earlier. So it's gonna be really interesting. I'm excited. Um, yeah. Yeah. I could join your midweek show, Eugene. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
man.
Yeah, this week, and so it's going to be good. I get to do an early stream, so let's see how that turns out. So, um, but if you guys still want to watch Love Lounge later on, if you can't make it early, it should be okay. But yep, I am happy. 3 points, much needed in our hopes to top four, because United doesn't want it, and so we fight.
Yeah.
And all I gotta say is, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs!